dark days, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling stuck, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. And with the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group.
Let's talk some business.
All right, let's do this. Hello, small business rock stars. Welcome into Small Business Saturday. I'm Aaron, and this is my amazing wife, Kylene. And today we are going to talk about why a customer chooses us over someone else. But let's, I don't know, Kylene, you want to hit a little music here? Just kind of get moving. Are we feeling that?
I'm feeling it. Let's play it.
All right, let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. We'll just hit this music only. We'll turn it down just a little bit so we can keep talking. Can you feel that? That's a little quiet. How's that?
There, that's perfect.
Okay, and it's going to loop a little bit, so if it hits, it's okay. But once you guys start moving, and we want you guys to start commenting, tell us where you're tuning in from, what your business is, what's happening this Saturday, right? We want to get some energy going here, and while you're doing that too, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the share button and sharing this over to your community. Let's get some more people tuned in here so we can have even more perspectives and a little deeper connection with everybody, Kylene.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And then, yeah, share what your business is all about too, so we can learn from you all.
Okay, I was doing my best dance move there. Sorry, distracting.
Let's see it again. Repeat.
All right. So hello, Doug, and we've got afternoon from the road. Thanks for tuning in, Wendy, as you're out on the road. Hopefully safe travels for you there. Yeah, so where are we at here, Kylene? We definitely want to hear from people, but
yeah,
I guess the other thing, if you are tuning in from the YouTube side, or if you want to go check out our YouTube channel, it's at liveosg.com, and you can subscribe over there. But again, go ahead and share this, and let's have some more people involved in the conversation. Kylene, what do you think?
Sounds perfect. I'm excited about today's show too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, let me while I bring down the music here, Kylene, can you just give us a little bit about what your intention for today's show is, what you're hoping people will take away from this here?
Yeah, so truly my intention is just to share how powerful our mindset is and the outcomes that we have, especially when we look at the services and products we offer to our customers. Our mindset plays a huge role in that and how your message is shared. How about you, Aaron?
Well, before I do, actually, Kylene, I'm going to just ask the people that are tuned in right now live, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put it in the comments. Again, I try to get back to everyone's comments that I see. And so if you've commented on something before and you were expecting a reply, please just tag me in it or something like that, because I think I'm all caught up with all of the comments and being able to interact with everybody that wasn't able to catch the live version. Good morning, everybody. We've got Barb checking in. Thanks for being here, Barb. So yeah, curious, when you guys saw the title, why our customers choose one company over the other, why customers buy from us. What were you hoping to take away from today? What's your intention? What perspective would you like to bring to this conversation, right? So I'm just curious. Good morning, Mo. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, so I really want to hear from the listeners here, Kylene, for sure. And I appreciate your perspective and your intention. I think that's a fantastic idea. And I think we've got some ideas that are going to help people with that. I think for me, Kylene, to finally answer your question, is the mindset shift needed, like you said, right? But when it comes to putting our businesses out there, right? And I know that not everybody's as competitive as I am, and I get that. That's a top strength of mine, is the competitiveness. But what I've understood is the competitiveness is not, I have to be better than Kylene, for example, right? The competitiveness is, oh, wow, Kylene's doing some amazing stuff. I better step up my game. And that kind of a mindset. But what we're doing here is we're trying to set ourselves apart a little bit. Right. And that's what it is when it comes to marketing our business, when it comes to selling what we do. And so the mindset that I'm hoping people take away from today is one that will help us better market our products. It will help us better connect, have better connections with our ideal customers. And honestly, therefore, if they do a really good job of kind of getting into what we're talking about today, I feel like the selling will be easier. Or, I mean, honestly, if you are connecting like in a marketing sense, or just kind of connecting with your ideal customers, and you do that so well, you probably don't actually have to sell. Right? Like I've said this repeatedly on this show, on plenty of others. I was never a good salesman, but yet I've been a sales manager. I've sold, right? And I was never a good, what you would consider a quote unquote salesman, right? I'm not going to talk anybody into it kind of thing. I'm not the, sell ice cubes to Eskimos kind of idea, or whatever, whatever the analogy is there. But I always felt like I could connect with who my ideal customers were and find a way to make a relationship. And so I didn't tell anybody this because they were paying me to be a salesperson, but honestly, I was an order taker. I was good at writing up the orders and taking their credit card, right? So that was my best kept secret. I'm like, hey, you're paying me to be a salesperson. I'm not actually selling. I'm just connecting with people and they want to give me orders. So, hey, it worked, but it was different. Yeah. So, Wendy, go ahead, Kylie.
I was just going to say, to go along with that, you obviously understood, though, what your customers were looking for, or they would have never given you that order.
That's right. That's right. 100%. Really good point. So, sorry, I saw a shiny object. And so because Wendy shared, I'm always looking for insight and how to better connect and serve her ideal customers. Yeah.
Love that. And
I can't wait to hear any insights that Wendy has along the way here, because I do truly believe Wendy is really good at this too. So, bring that insight but ask those questions, whatever. So, Kylene, should we just dive into this here then?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Well, let's start with that mindset part, because both of us said that was kind of a big part of the intention that we wanted to connect with. And I think this idea here is to understand the fact that we need to connect on a deeper level, a feelings level. We don't make buying decisions based on logic. As logical as you might think that you are, very rarely, in fact, I would go so far as to say never, even if it felt logical, it had to feel right. Right? There was an emotional connection. And so really, when it comes to marketing, sharing what we do, it's all about that emotional alignment over product features, right? Because as the business owner, we're really excited about the product features, right? Like, oh my gosh, this does this, and features. In the product decorating world, oh, well, I can do 16 colors on my screen print machine, or I have this many heads of embroidery, or I've got the latest and greatest DTF machine that, shakes the paper for me. And your customers are going, wow, that's really awesome for you. Shh, I don't care. Right?
Yeah.
Say that out loud, but that's what they're thinking internally, not from a negative, they're mean perspective, but that's not why they're coming to you, right? They're coming to you for that excitement and passion and the feeling that you're going to give them. But if you could do the exact same thing with the magic marker, they'd be just as happy, right?
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's that connection that they have to you, and the message that you're sharing with them to meet their needs. You might be excited about whatever product it is that you have to do that for them.
Absolutely.
But they don't really, like you said, they don't care about that part. They care about how you're going to work with them to build that relationship, and so they can trust you moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think the first part of this, Kylene, is that mindset shift, is the understanding that, yes, the product features are exciting to us and they should be that way. That's a core motivation for you, but that's not how you should try to connect with your customers, right? Because typically we go out there and we say, here's the features, here's my price. Yeah. And the customers go, awesome, love it. I'm going to go shop for somebody else. Right? And because you've now made the things that can be the lowest common denominators, because you know what? somebody else can probably print that same number of colors. Somebody else can probably do something similar to what you do from a feature standpoint, right? Now, maybe you've got some unique features, and those are great opportunities to connect with people, but you have to flip the mindset there and understand that it's your customer's deeper emotional needs, right? Because, okay, I love using this example. I was actually just talking about this at Graphics Pro in Indiana with the seminar that I was able to host there. And I use the idea of somebody that wants to do a fundraiser, right? And you're helping them with the fundraiser. You're going to sell, they're going to sell merch, right? You can have a complete conversation, take the order from start to finish without ever once talking about the things. Because while the shirts, the hats, the stickers, the this, the that, that's the avenue, that's the vehicle that's going to raise the funds. What your customer cares about is how are you going to make their lives easier to allow them to maximize raising funds with minimum effort.
Yep.
Right. And so the benefits, like, your ability to help them create the store, the tools, the mock-ups, right. Those are the features that you want to get to, but ultimately you're solving the problem of my program is going to help you raise funds.
Yep.
And how you do that, right? Sell pizza, sell candy bars. Well, I've seen all those different things, but but you have to understand what that deep motivation, emotional motivation is for your ideal customer. So, Kylene, I know this is an area that you're very skilled and talented at, is connecting with people at that level to understand their emotional needs. What's the trick, I guess? Give us the magic bullet here, Kylene.
Listen.
Oh, what'd you say? I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
I would say that, just understand like what they're saying. And because most of the time they're coming to you for help. They're coming to you to solve a problem for them. And your job is to make it simple, to leave out all the other stuff like Aaron was talking about before, and to streamline it for them so they can share their gifts with their community that they're wanting. And you're involving them in that process in a way where they feel important. I think it's really coming back to just aligning yourself with what they're saying and listening, and then tailoring your message to kind of use that language so they understand that, okay, they're going to help me. They're going to help me streamline this. They're going to help me make it stress-free, and I'm going to be able to get my message out to my customers. And then they feel part of the process and they trust you. And
yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah. And I like what you said in there too. You mentioned, you're there to solve a problem for people. And I understand that can be sometimes difficult to wrap our heads around as a small business, right? Like, I'm solving a problem. You absolutely are. But I was actually having a conversation with one of the mastermind members. And so we were working on this very thing together. And she was having a hard time with that concept. And what I came to find, so as much as I joke, I do try to listen. and I was listening. And she was really stuck on this idea of solving a problem. Right. And so what we kind of got to was, well, okay, maybe for you, it doesn't feel like solving a problem, but you are feeling a need, and that need emotional filler, right? Like and so ultimately, yes, you are solving a problem. And again, I get to work with a lot of product decorators, t-shirt printers, things like that. And people are like, it's just a t-shirt, right? I'm not saving the world. But you know what? You are, right? You're saving their world. You're helping them with a challenge that they have in front of them right then and there. But Chandler's here, right? Like,
yep.
She solves problems on both sides, right? So so for those that aren't familiar with Chandler's got a organization called the Grace Period. I'm finally getting it right, Chandler. So thank you for your patience with me. And yeah, we'll get to that story one second, Chandler. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. But the Grace Period, not only does she help the people that the Grace Period was built to help, just helping the working homeless is what the organization does, right? So she solves a need there. But she also has to understand that her customers, her partners in all this, are the donors, the volunteers, the sponsors that make this nonprofit tick, right? And so she's got to look at that need from that side. What's the problem that I solve for a donor, right? Well, what does a donor want, right? They want to be part of something bigger where they know they're making a difference, right? And so maybe understanding how to connect them to, okay, great, appreciate the check. Now let me show you how that check's going to work, right? How much more do you want to be a part of this, right? Do you want to just be from the back end? And so it's those kind of internal needs that we have to get into, right? What are the, you mentioned simplicity earlier, right? We'll talk about a story here in a little bit where that played a really crucial role in somebody figuring out how to connect deeper with their customer. Belonging, right? Yeah. They want to be part of a group or an organization, right? Like, yeah, I could buy my shirts from XYZ big company that doesn't really care about anybody, but I want to be part of this community, and there's a connection there that makes me part of that. So yeah, it's those types of things are important. Let's see here. Let me get to a couple comments, unless you guys share real quick, Kylene.
Nope.
Okay. What happens when you give them solutions but they still don't take it? I've offered everything but firstborn child and still can't get people in a space. Yep. And that's a let's put a pin in that one, because I do want to come back to that. There could be a couple different things that are happening. And like I said, we'll come back and go deeper, I think, when we get a little further down the list here, but possibly a message match, right? Like, we'll talk about one way that we do like some case studies or some things like that we can maybe find out some information. And then real quick, Chandler reached out to the community that was part of Fundamentals Live back in June, and Becky being one of them. And she had a friend that had this rush emergency need for t-shirts, right? Like, whatever happened, there was a situation where they needed them like really quickly, right? And Becky said, hey, I can help, right? And so Becky made t-shirts for this person, and it was a transaction of, you need this, I'll make them, I'll get them to you on time. That's the transaction. But that person didn't choose to work with Becky because of the transaction. That person chose to work with Becky because she solved a problem for them. Because Becky's not local. So Chandler and her friend were local here in St. Louis, right? But Becky said, hey, I'm going to step up. I'm going to solve this problem. And it worked out. So,
Yeah.
Right.
And made it easy for them, didn't have a lot of the back and forth questions. Becky was in her element and gave her gifts to help someone else out.
For sure.
Yep.
I love it. All right. And then last bit on the mindset here, because I think we've hit it pretty well, Kylene, unless there's anything else that you wanted to share. But this quote from Simon Sinek, I'm pretty sure it's from Simon Sinek. I did not verify. So if I'm wrong, please let me know. Yeah, there you go. Chandler says, took 5 minutes and now Becky has 2 customers for life. There you go. Right. And that's why this mindset's so important. When you understand what problem you're solving, you not only are better able to gain new customers, but you've connected with them on a deeper level. And so now they become customers for life. And therefore you don't have to have so many new customers all the time, because you're not just turning and burning transactions. You're actually building relationships that are going to sustain your business long term. So thank you for sharing that, Chandler. So anyhow, the quote is, and I'm like 99% sure it's from Simon Sinek, it says, customers don't buy what you sell, they buy how you make them feel. So
it's pretty powerful.
How does that hit for you, Kylene, and anybody else that's tuned in?
And well, I think I've heard a different version of this too, is people don't remember what you said, but they remember how you make them feel.
They make them feel, sure. Yep.
Same idea behind it. People know when you're being genuine and you truly care about what you are offering and how you can assist them. We all know when you talk to someone that maybe they don't really care so much. Well, then if they get that feeling from you, that energy from you, they're probably not going to trust that you're going to make this relationship mutual and move forward to that next step. So It really is coming back to listening to what they're stating that they need. And, if you feel like you can't solve that problem, you need to be able to share that with them too, instead of entering this relationship and then it's not right. And all of that comes back to truly understanding what your customers need and
Yeah.
want from
Yeah.
you.
That's a really good point too, Kylene. Like a lot of times we're going, hey, I need orders, right? Things are slow. And so I'm going to
Mhm.
say yes to everything. And a lot of times that will do more harm than good because of what you just said there, right? You didn't really take the time to really truly understand their needs. And then you didn't deliver on the expectations. And now they're going, oh, I gave my money. I'm not happy. I'm going to tell my friends to avoid them, right? And it's hard to dig out of that hole.
Yeah.
So, this is
What's
also important to really understand who your ideal customers are. It's not everybody with money in their wallet, right? And aligning with that is the first crucial step to this, actually. So,
Yeah, and I think for you too, as the business owner, as the one providing the service, um, we all want to have more fulfillment, more joy, more positive emotions, especially when we're spending so much time doing something. So if we're just taking things just to take them sometimes, and it's not the right fit, then we're not going to have that true enjoyment with our business.
yeah. Yep. Sorry, I kept kicking the trash can down there. So, like, wow, oh, ow. Anyhow, all right. Well, so I think this is good, right? We're talking about our ideal customers here a little bit, and we want to make that transition into the next phase. So, for a little bit there, we kind of had a we always think about the three pillars, right? The mindset, the fundamentals, the wellness.
Yep.
But I don't think we were very specific. And I think now we're getting back to being very specific with that. So that first part was that mindset part. Like, let's just make sure that we really understand that we're need to align with what the customers value, not our product, service, features, and price.
Yep.
That comes after they've decided to do business with you. Then you can determine the right features, the right machine to use, the right, this, that, what's the right price that matches their needs, et cetera, et cetera. So, but always start with that connection to be aligned with what your customer values and then go from there. So the next phase here is the fundamentals. So like what's the action steps here, right? And we need to have some actionable steps that allows us to be aligned with our ideal customers. And so going back to Chandler's comment here, what happens when you give them solutions but they still don't take it, right? I've offered everything but firstborn child and still can't get people in a space, right? And and unfortunately I can't go, here's a magic bullet, easy, right? But
Yeah.
it is very simple. The process is very simple. So just remember that everything. Kylene, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know sometimes I do complicate things more than they need to be because I feel like it's, how do I get people to understand? Because people like complicated. They feel like that's a lot of value. If it's complicated, it's got to be good. Right? But the reality is very simple. You conduct an interview with the people that are your ideal customers, and an interview without any intention of selling. You're not going to pitch them at the end or anything like that. In fact, I've gone so far inside of our success group here that I'm saying, hey, I want to talk with people that are my ideal customer, and I want to give them something in return for their time, right? I'm just asking them to spend 20, 30 minutes with me on a call so I can ask them some very specific questions. And in return for that, I want to buy them a coffee, right? So I send them a $10 Starbucks gift card. I'm sorry, I was laughing at Chandler's comment there.
It was pretty good.
And so that's what we need to do, right? We need to kind of find out, and whether they're existing customers, maybe they're potential customers, maybe they're past customers that aren't doing business with you anymore, but we need to conduct an interview with them and really understand what the customer's internal needs are, right? And this is something that's not always an easy thing to do. In fact, I'm actually working with somebody. We're just getting started on this project. So that if this is something that somebody needs help with, I'm happy to do that. But I'm actually going to interview their customers. We're going to put the questions together so we understand what what they're trying to find out specifically and how they can help. But I'm going to interview 10 to 20 of their people on the list. And it's their list of past customers, of existing customers, of customers they'd like, right? And I'm going to be reaching out to them and saying, hey, I'm doing an independent review for this particular company. So I'm just a third party, no pressure. I'm not selling you anything, all that stuff. And we'll do an interview. And the idea is to understand what their internal needs are, right? Are they looking for things like status? Are they looking for things like simplicity? Are they looking for things like connection to a bigger group, right? So that is to answer your question here, Chandler. I think, and there could be a couple other things, but one thing that's kind of standing out, just knowing you and what you've done, is there may be a message market mismatch, right? So they're wanting something. In fact, let me give you an example. Now, this won't be a specific example for Chandler's deal, but for our folks that are product decorators, they'll understand this too. But hopefully, everybody sees the idea here, right? So, Kylene, is that cool? Can I jump into that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I was able to work with an OSG partner on something very similar to this. And before we had this opportunity to talk, they thought that their ideal customers were interested in a very wide selection of products, right? They got the product catalog, they got all this. Oh, and I've got every single piece of equipment there is. So whatever you need, I can do it for you. And they just were shoving that in front of their ideal customers. Like Chandler said, doing everything they could think of, except for maybe offering their firstborn child. Maybe they were doing that too. We've got a child, we're good. So, but that was the thing, right? So that's what they thought. They thought that this answer to what their ideal customers wanted was this wide selection. Well, as we worked together and came up with the right questions to ask, and then they were able to interview the customers, we came to determine that their ideal customers, and the key point is ideal, not every customer they've ever had, but the ones that they wanted to work with the most, their ideal customers, they actually wanted simplicity and peace of mind, right? Mm-hmm. They were working with companies and people that were very busy, and this was, they weren't professional buyers, and they were just kind of going, I just need a thing, right? Like, mm-hmm. I have this internal need, yes, but what they were saying on the outside was, I just need a thing. But I'm coming to you for your expertise. You've been doing this for a very long time. And what they changed, which made a massive difference for them, is instead of continuing to just shove a big catalog in front of people with all these different options, is they said, okay, great, we understand your needs. Here's good, better, best. Which one would you like? And the people were like, oh, perfect. I don't know, I'd love best, but that's not really my budget, so I'm going to go with better. Budget wise, I'm probably at good, but I trust you, so I'm going to go with better. Right. And that was, man, it changed things. Not only were they connecting more deeply with their ideal customers, but the price became the last part of the conversation, because the person went, oh yeah, I want better. That's what I really want. Oh, okay. The price. Yeah, man, it's a lot of my budget, but you know what? I'm going to do it. And so the price was just kind of they gave them 3 options that would all be a win, no matter which option they went with. It's just let them pick, right? Mm-hmm. So, it was all about kind of setting up simple systems and guiding customers through the offering. And so they didn't have to change a whole lot with what they were doing. They were still selling the same things. They still had all the same piece of equipment. They still had all of the options that they could choose from. All they did was simplify it. Yep. Right? And so that's kind of what we're talking about with the fundamentals here, Kylene. Anything to add there?
I mean, you just made their life easier, right? You took all those, instead of having this huge catalog of every option you could imagine, you just already streamlined it for them. And that means that you took the time to understand what they need, right? Because you packaged it down for them, and then they were able to make that decision. And then, like you said, the price became the last point. To get to that point, they already understood that you took the time to know what they needed, and therefore they feel connected, and therefore they trusted to make the order with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're saying there is like, it became not a matter of if they were going to do business with you, just at what level they were going to do business with you. Right. Yeah. And Barb's comment here is 100% exactly what we're talking about. Communication and listening is actually what the customer is saying is key. I find my perception of the project their perception of the project may not be the same as mine. Right. So 100% Barb. And then Chandler shared kind of like throwing up on everyone analogy. So interview them and answer on their answers. Right. Yeah. Because Chandler,
they're guiding you.
Yeah. What you got to understand is what you might be saying exactly what they need. It's just not in the language that they understand.
Yep.
Right. And so if you can really truly understand what their needs are deeply, then you can meet them where they're at. Right. And it's not going to change anything with the services or what you're offering or any of that. It'll all still get there. You just need that bridge, the right language to get from, I have a need. You're going to understand their desire, and then you're going to offer them the service, the space. And from that space, from offering that space, though, they're going to understand it. It's going to make sense to that does fill my need. Because my guess is they're going, I've got this need. I think I understand what Chandler's offering us, but it doesn't exactly match. A confused buyer is not a buyer. Right. So that they're just confused, but they don't want to, unfortunately there's other options out there. And so they're going to go see if they can be unconfused somewhere else. And so when you take the time to really understand what they need, then they can understand you a lot faster. That helps. Did I cover that, Kylene?
Yeah, most definitely. And it kind of comes back to, with the fundamentals, it's just really understanding what your business is all about and what it is that you are wanting. What's your why? What's your reason? Because that is going to come across in your message to these potential buyers for you as well, because your answers are going to be tailored to their needs, and it's going to match up if it's a good fit.
Yeah, for sure. And then just a quick bonus here, Kylene, for anybody like that interview thing. Crucial. Like I said, happy to work with anybody if that's something that you could use a little help with. It's a service that we offer through our success group, which is kind of, I call it a micro consult that we can do. I'll find out exactly what you need. We'll kind of put together a quick proposal, and could be something that be very useful for you. And it's something I love doing. Right? It's maybe I'm not always a great listener, but I can gather data and then pull out information from it. So you guys listen, I'll give you what to listen for.
Yeah.
And
I'm able to look
listener.
at the big picture.
Yes, yes.
I think way back when we started this with the Post-its, the customer's journey and like where these points are, where it's confusion for them. And when they have that confusion point, they're usually out, right? So understanding that fully. Yeah.
And that's the bonus. Kylene's giving you the bonus there is, if
sorry.
you're not ready for the interviews, or just doesn't feel right for you. Okay, well then at least step back and look at the overall process, right? Like what are all the touch points that you have with the customers, and where do they seem to be falling out at? And then look at that, right? What could you change in that, right? So what is that customer journey from the time that they learn about you to the time that they get offered your product? And offered your product could just mean, they're on your website, right? It's not like you have to make a custom quote to every single person, but when they're have that option to hit add to cart, that's when you're offering your product, right? So what's the journey that they go through, and where potentially could your message be getting missed or foggy or unclear? And then going from there. So, all right, we got one more. Chandler says, schedule me in, buddy.
Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, can we take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and I'll turn it over to you for the wellness here.
Sounds good.
All right.
What if you had a clear marketing roadmap for the next 8 weeks instead of scrambling last minute trying to gain new business while keeping everything else going? Too often, businesses react late and miss key opportunities. Some do not even get in front of potential customers, and then wonder why business is slow. It doesn't need to be that way, and it doesn't need to take weeks of planning or learning new marketing tricks. The Marketing Roadmap webinar will help you build a proactive plan to finish 2024 strong. In just 2 short guided sessions, you will have tools for a clear plan to keep your business moving forward even during the busy fourth quarter. Register today at osg.link/MKT to finish 2024 with clarity, confidence, and the tools for a real plan. It's time to stop reacting and start taking control of your business. We are excited for you to join us on October 17th and 18th. Register for these free sessions at osg.link/MKT.
It's going to be huge.
Yep, looking forward to it. So if you haven't had a chance to register, just go over there to osg.link/MKT. And I'm really excited about this, Kylene. We've taken some things I've done in the past. We've kind of made it a little more succinct, give people everything that they need to be able to go, okay, very quickly, I can get a roadmap together to finish out the year strong, which is also going to lead them into a much stronger position in 2025. And then for those that do come, I mean, even if you don't, you want the information. So we're going to cover the information on Thursday and Friday, just an hour session, midday, both days. And then on Saturday, those that want to sign up for it, we're actually doing a workshop where I'm going to put you through the experiences that we talked about. And then you're going to actually develop your roadmap in the 3 hours that we have together. And so I can't guarantee everybody's going to have a full 8-week roadmap because some people are going to be at different stages, but I can guarantee that I will be there to work with you and to get done with that. I imagine most people will have a pretty good, clear plan in the end of 3 hours, but if you need a little extra, then we'll do that. We'll make that happen. So, okay, Kylene, well, let's talk about the wellness aspect of this whole thing that we're talking about, why customers would choose you. So like I said, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you lead here.
All right. So with wellness, and when we talk about wellness here in Small Business Saturdays, it's really looking holistically at you and all the different parts in your life that create that harmony, if you will. And when something's out of alignment, we're not truly feeling our best. So it's really important to kind of set yourself up for success when you look at your life holistically. Because that's going to help you build those genuine relationships with people. It's going to reduce the stress that you have in your business. And when we're like highly stressed, right, we don't always show up the best way that we can. So it's really coming back to setting yourself up for success, creating those habits that you might have for yourself in the morning. Start your day off, maybe you do some meditation, you do some walking, you do some journaling, maybe you do whatever it is for you to get yourself in that right headspace. So then when you are interacting with others, you're building that bond, you're building that connection with them. And it's not just for you, but it's for your potential customers. It's also for anyone else involved in your business. That alignment is really powerful. Plus you find more joy, right? Because we're not in that high stress state. We've done some things to get ourselves thinking clearly instead of so reactive. I don't know if you have any insight on that part.
Yeah, I do. Because I think that the real kind of bonus to all of this is exactly what you're saying there, that when we're focused on connecting at an emotional level with our ideal customers, right? And again, this doesn't have to be like you're best friends with every single one of your customers, but you could be. That's okay too, right? But the reality is, if you're really kind of focused in on what they need emotionally at that kind of internal level, you're also going to feel more connected for yourself at that internal level, right? When we're stressed out about our business, we're stressed about the transactions, right? We're stressed about the this thing, this feature, those things, right? The feature, the thing, the transaction. But I don't believe that, when we have that connection with our customers, that ever feels like work, right? That's kind of the whole idea behind the fundamentals, right? Is we want to get this to a place where we love what we get to do. And when we get to work with people that we're connected with emotionally, like you said, that's not only for you and the customer, but maybe it's you and the people that are, right? Make sure that your staff understand that it's about making that emotional connection. You want to improve your customer service. You got a customer service team out there. focus with them on connecting with the customers at an emotional level. Give them that leeway to try to connect emotionally, as opposed to, here's the transaction. You have to make sure everybody keeps the product, nobody returns anything. Transaction, right? Answer the phone within 30 seconds. Oh, that's a transaction. Answer the phone within 30 seconds, because that will start that emotional connection with the customer, that they know that their call matters to you.
Yeah.
Right? You take it that next step to that emotional level, and then it becomes a lot more aligned with just stress-free, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
joy, harmony, right? And so I guess, yeah, talk about that a little bit more for us too, Kylene. That this idea of harmony, to me, it's like harmony is like greasing the rails. It just flows more smoothly when it's harmony. And you and I have had lots of discussions about this, because this is a superpower of yours, is harmony. But you have to maintain that balance, right? You can grease the rails, but if you continue to just lean up against the rail, it's not, the grease doesn't help, right?
Yeah.
But if you grease the rails, it moves, when you're in balance, it moves more fluidly. So I don't know if you can kind of expand on that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that when you're in harmony, it's kind of the analogy of fill your cup up so you can give to others, right? When you have taken the time to really kind of look at your needs and yourself in the areas of your life to try to best keep it in harmony or get yourself in the right state of mind, and then you come back to the connection point. Why am I here? Why do I go to work every day? What is our mission here? What is the mission for my business? When you're truly connected with that, then you get to build those relationships. You get to, when Aaron's talking about greasing the rails, if you will, you're not just creating peace all the time, but you're also able to have more understanding of, this is why we're doing it. So when you explain that to a customer, you're able to express that clearly, instead of just bending over backwards just to keep peace. And then therefore you create more chaos for yourself, and then less service as a result.
Yeah, exactly. So when you think you're trying to create harmony, but like you said, bending over backwards, you're actually creating disharmony. It just happens to be all on your side. Right. And ultimately, the customers that you want to work with, they want to have, like I said, that greased rail where it's easy to do business. It flows. It's a stress-free customer experience. But again, that can reach all levels of your business, right? Whether you've got a virtual assistant or whether you've got a part-time helper, right? When you said it a couple times there, coming back to why, right? And why you started your business, yes, but also, why are we making this decision? Why is this a good choice, right? And that why is that emotional connection with our customers. And our ideal customers. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, all of that kind of, helps us to simplify the message when we have that understanding to our customers. So we don't give them so many different options or so many words, and then they have to decipher and make meaning from it. We're very clear in that, and therefore they're going to trust us more. And we're taking that decision fatigue away from them, because we all know what it's like when everyone dumps everything, and then you get to decide what you want, and people think that they're being helpful by doing that, but really, in turn, I know I do that to you sometimes. It just is one more thing for them to have to figure out. And so that doesn't really help build that trust with your potential customer.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, heck, that's worked for me inside of our success group, right? Kylene, we talk about this with, I had a kind of a recent epiphany that I get super excited about building the foundation, right? Because I know that little bit of extra effort at the front end of focusing on your foundation first will pay huge dividends in the end. Right? I know that because I've seen that and I've done that. I've lived that. Right. But what I realized is I was working with folks who aren't there yet. Right. They're going, I just need to live through the next 15 minutes in some circumstances. Right. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so this. And now you're telling me you need me to do extra work. You're crazy, Aaron. See ya. Right. And so what I had to understand is that people aren't coming to me for the foundation, people work with me to get that help to get over that bridge, right? That's why I made the change that we made. So this program that's coming up next week, the marketing seminars, this used to be a 5-day workshop, homework, like do this, come back the next day, do this, come back the next day. And I couldn't figure out why nobody wanted to do this. And so going back to what you were saying, Chandler, I felt like I was like doing everything and nobody was going, oh, sign me up, right? Like, oh, good, I'm going to do more homework. Thanks, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I realized is, okay, I can give you that. Let's get that more concise. Let's get right to it. I know that's not my thing, but I'm going to get right to it. And if that's good enough for you, perfect. I fulfilled my mission of allowing you an uncommon mindset so you can maximize your fulfillment and achieve your goals, right? But if you want help to actually make that work, then I'm going to make myself available for that too. And that's really what people want from me. And so just understanding that has been a huge, crucial step for me. And we'll see who's willing to give that a try next week.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just with part of that, it was the wellness side, it was you getting into that place where you're in some kind of harmony. So you're open to any feedback that you were receiving, when we're constantly being reactive and going from one thing to the next, we don't have time to reflect. We don't have time to listen to what that message is really telling us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, those of you that are tuned in live, tell us what you took from this. What's the main thing that you want to take from today, or what additional perspective did we miss that you want to share, or Barb bringing in a different perspective, but in agreement, right? So we're in harmony. It's all good. But either way, so I want to hear from you guys. So we'll give you guys just a moment to do that really quick. But I think the other thing we just wanted to say, Kylene, is just thank you to the people that joined us here today. You guys are incredible rock stars. We do this as often as we can, right? And try to be here because we get to be with people like Chandler, like Wendy, like Barb, everybody that's tuned in right now. We appreciate you guys very much. Mo tuning in, I know she's working on some stuff and has big things coming. So, and that's just appreciate that, Kylene, for sure. So
most definitely. Yeah. We truly appreciate you all, and for being in the comments too. That's huge because we can all learn from each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Chandler says, interview people like excuse me. Wow. I had a little interview people like they interview me and then get to their language. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
You're welcome, Mo. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys do want to continue this discussion, we would love to continue it over in the Facebook group, Entrepreneur Success Hub. And I will slap the banner up here real quick, maybe if I can find it. I thought I just had it, but now I don't. There it is. I have my cursor over the top of it. So osg.link/group. And if you guys could do us a favor there, even if you are already part of the group, post something in there. Let's keep it active, right? I'm trying to keep things rolling in there, but would love to have you guys be the initiator of the topics, of the discussions, of the, Friday I took a picture of a beer I had in my refrigerator to say cheers. Let's celebrate something, right? So love to hear what you guys are celebrating. Whatever that is, just go over there to osg.link/group and check that out, Kylene. What other things are happening over there, Kylene?
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to say you guys should go check out that picture of the beer Aaron put on there because it's pretty cool.
It was a gift from a friend of mine. Yeah. It was a gift from a friend of mine. It's called Life Coach Lager. So
yeah.
I can't bring myself to drink it. I'm sure it's delicious, but
I know. Wasn't there another one that he gave you too, or is it just that one?
He gave me a 6-pack, but that was like the special one. The others were just regular beers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, So to answer your question, what all goes on in that group, it is a great place to connect and learn from each other. If you're feeling stuck and you want to share your question on there, do that. If you want to celebrate your gratitude on there, do that. We had a gratitude challenge last month, and it was just really awesome to hear from so many different people what they're grateful for in their life. It was huge. And then you just get to learn about, different things coming up in people's world and how you can support them, connect, collaborate, all of that fun stuff happens over there.
Yep. Awesome. All right, Kylene. Well, I think we've had a great show here. Chandler says that is a cool beer. I love it. So I guess, Kylene, until next time, stay motivated, stay focused. Don't forget to celebrate a win each day. Next week, we're working on a topic. So we're efforting right now. If you guys have something particular you'd like to discuss on Small Business Saturdays, please let us know, reach out. But we will be back next week at noon Central Time to have another wonderful Small Business Saturday episode. Again, make sure you're part of the group, engaging in the comments in the Facebook group, and just help your fellow small business owners, but mainly believe in yourself.
Yes. We believe in you. Stay positive. Find something in your life to be grateful for, and you will get there. You will see your success. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Dark days, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we